Today, we are going to talk about what to do if you get into a motorcycle crash. Welcome to our new informative segment of Moto Talks with Mitch and Mel for the law firm of Proner and Promer. I'm your host, Mel Maguya. And as often as we can, we will sit down with the personal injury expert himself and writer, Mr. Mitch Proner, a personal injury attorney with over 30 years of experience, here to answer your questions or any interesting topics that you might find useful in your personal injury world. Mitch, how you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Excited to prevent some mistakes and present some information that the riders might find informative. How you doing, Mel?
I'm good. I'm good. Where are you at? Is that your bike I see in the background?
Yeah, that's my 2018 Road Glide. I'm actually here in my garage.
Very nice. I'm in my little studio. I think you guys just see my helmet there, but it's not as cool as Mitch's, I'm sure. All right, guys. So before we start, just remember, folks, that if you need to contact us, all consultations are free and confidential. Call us at any time at 1-800-321-1234. So let's just get right into it, Mitch. Like, what should we do if we get into as a motorcyclist? What should we do if we get into an incident?
It's interesting. You talked about it. My helmet's not as cool. This I'm just reaching over here. This is my helmet. It's
Okay.
nothing really special, but it is a DOT helmet. And one thing that you'll notice about it, it's not too scuffed up. A lot of times, people have helmets they might have gotten with the bike. It could be banged up. A motorcycle helmet is supposed to actually deform
Yep.
in a collision. It's not supposed to stay rigid. It's supposed to absorb forces, and it does that by having the foam inside actually compress. So an old helmet is not really a good helmet. Some states, helmets aren't required. I ride in Connecticut, and I have rode numerous times without a helmet. Not the best idea, but sometimes it's hot and you just don't feel like it, and I get that. Not to pass judgment on anybody, but it is more safe with a helmet, but it's a matter of preference a lot of times. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, what to do if you have a motorcycle crash.
Yeah.
First thing you got to do is get medical attention if it's necessary. Now, suppose you're riding with a pack and you need to identify where you are and you want to go to a nearby house. Well, having an excited biker run up and pound on a door might not be the best move. You might want to send, if you've got women with you, perhaps somebody less intimidating, should go to the door and if you need to know exactly where you are. But nowadays with cell phones and GPS, that's not so much of a concern. The first concern is getting medical attention. Don't worry about your medical bills. A lot of times people are more worried about their bike than their health. They say, "Oh, I didn't go to a doctor right away because I wanted to stay with my bike."
Right.
You can always get another bike. You can't get a new body. And your health is more important. A lot of times people don't realize the extent of their injuries because their adrenaline's pumping, and they might not realize that they've sustained perhaps a life-threatening injury. There could
Right.
be internal injuries or a brain injury if you had a blow to your head, and these the brain has, as doctors have realized, there's an issue called neuroplasticity, where the brain has an ability to heal itself, but over time, if you don't get the appropriate care, that neuroplasticity can be compromised. So you want to get medical attention right away. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Second thing, as I mentioned, the lawyer can help you out with your bills. Now, you do have an obligation on typical crashes to report the crash to your own insurance carrier.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times people are afraid to do that because they think their rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
If it's a reported incident with the police involved and injuries, your carrier is going to know about it. So the point of not contacting them is not really a legitimate concern. they're going to know about it. And your rates may, in fact, go up based on the collision as a reported incident, even if you weren't at fault, but it shouldn't. Typically, the carrier knows who paid out on it because if there's two carriers involved, you and the other vehicle, they'll come up with a deal for the property damage. But they oftentimes say it's a recorded line for quality control. It's actually to protect their money, not yours.
Yeah.
And you probably shouldn't give a statement without being prepared by an attorney. So what I typically tell my clients is they should tell their insurance carrier, sure, I'll give you a statement. You just have to clear it with my lawyer. And I'll make sure my client does not give any statement that might prejudice their rights until they've been properly prepared. Any CEO of a large company is not going to give a recorded statement without being prepared by an attorney. And as a motorcycle rider with injuries that are somebody else's fault, you have the same rights to be prepared.
Right.
Firm to consult with us is always free, and we don't get any money on any claims unless we're successful and we get money for our clients. So it's no fee unless we're successful. So it doesn't cost you anything to speak to an attorney, and it's a good idea. So additionally, first concern is your health. Second concern is you should get an attorney as quickly as possible. An attorney can obtain proof that the accident wasn't your fault. Sometimes there's surveillance videos that are taped over if you don't get them secured within 48 hours.
Wow.
And there's information. The other thing is, when you speak to the police, you don't need to tell them what you did wrong. You don't need to say, I only had 3 beers. You could just tell them what the other driver did wrong. And typically the other driver is at fault in motorcycle accident cases. They didn't respect my right of way. They pulled out from a stop sign without observing me. They made a U-turn illegally. They pulled out of a parking lot or a parking spot without observing that I had the right of way. Whatever it is you can point out to the police officer to justify that the incident was the other vehicle's fault, that you'd want to say. And then, of course, you should tell them everything that's bothering you and get the appropriate medical care. If there's witnesses or other vehicles there, or if there's proof like skid marks on the road, if you could take some photos with your cell phone, that doesn't mean you have to go around and play CSI and start taking measurements when you're hurt. But if you could shoot a few shots to indicate where it happened and the surrounding area, those photos can help. Don't give any recorded statement without being prepared. As I mentioned, that's important. And the reason that's important is because the other vehicle might not be insured, and it might be your carrier that is ultimately responsible for the claim, your insurance company.
Okay.
And they're not your good neighbor. You're not in their good hands. They're big businesses, these insurance carriers, that try to collect as much as possible in premiums and pay out as little as possible in claims.
Right.
And you're better off having somebody on your side that can help you with that. With regard to the laws involving motorcycle collisions, they vary from state to state. For example, in New York, most motor vehicle accidents are covered by the no-fault law, section 5102 of the insurance code, as was enacted in 1978. But motorcycles are excluded from no fault. So you're going to have to put your health insurance claims initially through your own health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, you might qualify for emergency Medicaid.
Okay.
But ultimately, that'll be part of your claim that your attorney can present to the other side. You can be partially at fault and still get compensation. You could be riding without a helmet and still get compensation. You can receive a ticket at the collision scene and still get compensation.
Oh, wow.
But you're better off discussing these concerns with a competent attorney. And that's my advice for what to do at at an accident scene.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point that just hit me, and which is why I'm really glad that we are actually doing this. Is like, I don't know how many times I've spoken with riders who've gone to an accident and they didn't end up contacting a lawyer till later. If you know a lawyer, and let's just say, hopefully, we get this message across to motorcyclists who hopefully never have to use you. Is it your advice that they contact you as soon as possible? I mean, after they're safe, after they get an accident, but would you suggest that they contact you as soon as they feel safe, even if they're still within the accident zone, or still within the situation at the moment?
Well, they should be aware that, let's suppose it's a collision with a interstate truck.
Yeah.
That interstate truck has risk management teams available immediately to investigate the claim, to minimize any payout that interstate truck will have. The insurance company that would pay out on the claim, they have attorneys and investigators available immediately. So the claims process is an adversarial system. The more money the rider gets, the less money the insurance company has. The less money the rider gets, the more the insurance carrier gets to keep in their bank account. So it's an adversarial relationship. They're trying to hold on to their money, and they've got professionals to help them immediately. The rider should have professionals available to help them immediately as well, just to even the playing field, just to get what's fair, just to get the rider what they deserve under the law. So yes, they should contact an attorney at their earliest available moment.
Wow. See, that's really honestly fantastic information. And for all of you listening out there, whether it be on the podcast or watching on YouTube, please, like, even if you haven't decided on an attorney, I mean, like, I've been in the motorcycle industry for several years, and you don't know how many people who have gotten to situations they did not know how to call. So hopefully, if you get into a situation, you'll contact someone like Mitch Proner here, because he's like, what you see is what you get, and he really is. He is a fighter. He's a rider. He's been in, I know you've been in an accident yourself, so he'll definitely understand all the different angles. So yeah, I'm really glad I found you, Mitch, honestly, because even myself, I didn't know. I would have no idea, and I have spoken to so many riders, honestly, that have been riding for years, and they know this about gear, they know this about motorcycles, they know this about track, but they don't have any idea who to contact, god forbid, if they get in an accident. So, like, I know I'm thankful for someone like you, and I'm sure other motorcyclists will be thankful for someone with you, like you, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's really good for this other segment. Is there anything else you want to add or talk about for this particular segment?
Just if you're interested in finding more about your legal rights, like, follow, and listen, and hopefully you ride safe and keep the wheels on the road and the shiny side up.
Yep.
Good luck to you.
Definitely. I definitely. Oh, and by the way, until I started riding, I didn't realize what this meant with riders. I only got that. And for those of you who don't ride, that means what? Keep two down. Is that what it is? Keep your two wheels down.
Yeah, and we wave to each other on the road because we're in this together. So
yeah, that's definitely true. Well, there you have it, folks. You heard it from the expert himself, Mitch Proner. And as Mitch was kind enough to provide, don't forget to check out our social media followings, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course YouTube. And also, of course, don't forget, if you need us right away, you can always call us at 1-800-321-1234, where consultations are free and confidential, and that's pretty much 24/7. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And Mitch, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And it's really nice to see you in your motorcycle environment. My motorcycle's out in the garage. That's 50 blocks south of
All
here,
right.
so I can't do the same as you. I can show my helmet.
All right.
That's about it.
All
All
right.
right.
Good
Thanks
seeing you, Mel.
again.
Thanks.
Good seeing you.
Bye-bye.